Hey guys, it's finally that time. My challenge ended. My intent was to go from 227 pounds down to 212, so that's 15 pounds of fat loss after my overeating adventure back in Italy. And the thing is that I have targeted that for the first week of December, but the plans shifted. They have shifted plenty in that cutting cycle of mine, to be honest. But now I have a trip to Germany in the first week of December, so I'm cutting my window to shred the weight by a week, which leaves me with 7 weeks total to lose 15 pounds of weight. And I did it. I'm currently sitting at 212 pounds this morning. So the target is reached, the thing is accomplished, and let's see how this looks like as a progress pics. So this is before and after. And yeah, you can see I had quite the belly going on. You cannot see all the love handles. I still have some of them, so I'm down to from 18% body fat that I was in. Now I'm down to like 14. So good enough. I was in a better shape when I was back in Italy. I was like 12% body fat with 88 centimeters of waist. My waist is currently at 90 centimeters. And after the vacation, and when I came back in that shape, I'm at 95 centimeters. So I managed to shred down 15 pounds of fat and 5 centimeters of fat around my waist. That's another picture. You can see I still have some of those love handles on the side. So I have more work to do. The thing is that we're heading into December and there are quite the events and celebrations in that month. I mean, it's kind of crazy because in my country we have so many celebrations in December, and in November it was the same. The month just went, man, crazy. My girlfriend had a birthday, so that's a great excuse to consume cakes, to drink, to do all the nasty stuff that you want to do while you're in that pace. But there we go. Then we have those name days. That's not the thing in America, but that's a thing in Europe. So we have name days, and a person with a specific name celebrates at a specific month. So it's like a birthday almost. So again, you have cakes, you have candies, you have all those stuff, drinks. I had a team building as well with my former employer. Then I went on that party again, drinks, cakes, all of those stuff, and things were like that for a whole month of November. And regardless of that, I could have came with an excuses and come back at 220 pounds or something above that. A week before today, I was waiting in at around 221 after the team building. I got plenty of drinks, plenty of cakes, and man, it was crazy. And I had to drop that weight for that week. Um, and how I did that, I will go into more details soon. But my plan for him here on, you can see that I'm not in my previous shape, even though I have reached my target. I want to go down to 12% or less this time. And I'm targeting January in order to do that. So, January 2025, my new goal to go below 12% of body fat. That's a place that I've never been at. I've been at my best at 12% or around 12% body fat. My ultimate goal is to go down to 10%, but we'll see how this goes because in December, because of all the celebrations, I'll just maintain all of the weight. I'm traveling to Germany for a week, and I'm notorious with my travels and vacations. I come back 15, 20 pounds heavier. This time, I will do my best for that not to be the case. So, my goal for the whole month is to just maintain that weight that I'm currently sitting at, 212 pounds, and do some reverse dieting to gradually come back to my maintenance calories level in order to maintain the weight. For me, that's 2.9k calories per day. In order to shred the fat, the plan was to cut at 2.2k, so I'm at 700 calories deficit per day, and I'll gradually increase that deficit and slow it down by adding 300 calories per week. So week 1 in December, the plan is to just sit around 2.5k. Second week of December, when I come back from Germany, the goal is to sit at around 2.8k. And then for the third week, when the most of the celebrations are, is to sit at my maintenance level at 2.9k. If everything goes to plan, everything goes well, I will be able to shred to 210 because I will still be at deficit for 2 weeks. So I might go down in weight slightly, which is great. And it just sets me up in a better position for January, in which I'll target to lose 3 kg, which is I don't know how many pounds, maybe like 6, 7, 8 pounds for the month. And I'll be on that same caloric deficit in order to achieve that and to go down from 13 to 14% of body fat to below 12%, which I think is achievable as long as I'm disciplined in December. So December is going to be a key month, and it will give me that opportunity to showcase that I have taken my lessons from my past mistakes and fucked ups. Because, man, when I was traveling to Italy, it was crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, I'll try to be disciplined for the period. So, how did I get there? How I managed to get down in weight after all of those things that I have described, all of the parties. I even had a party because I'm switching up my employer. So I'll be transitioning to a new company starting from December the 2nd. That's why I'm traveling to Germany because they're based there. So I'll go there for a week, meet the guys, get in touch, and I'll travel back. But there were parties about that as well. So, man, it was a month full of parties. And how I managed to cope with all of that, I even got sick for the last week. I'm still sick. My throat is not feeling great, so I'll drink some water. And I've got sick because I was running outside when it was low temperatures, very windy. By the way, the previous week, very windy. And I was just running and jogging for kilometers and kilometers. And yeah, it got to me because I'm at caloric deficit as well. When you go at that cutting pace, your whole body defensive systems, they just shut down. Your immunity goes down for colds and all those things, and you're just more vulnerable. And yeah, probably that's the reason why I got sick, but I still managed to lose out of weight. My plan was to go at 2.2k calories, 700 calories deficit, sustain it for weeks and weeks, for 8 or 7 weeks, I don't remember. And that's how I plan to lose the weight, but that didn't happen because of the celebrations. So I have came up with another strategy, which is fasting and feasting. The idea here is to live like your ancestors because as a human beings at the beginning we were designed to be able to sustain prolonged periods of times without any food. So you can be left there out in the wild hunting, and it's not a guarantee that you get food each and every day. So that's why your body stores all the fat inside of you just to be able to survive. You can survive like 30 days without any food thanks to that system of fat storage on your body. And that's the idea with fasting. Fasting, if you fast for a whole day, I was doing that. I was fasting for anywhere between 24 to 48 hours. And you can do the math. That's like 4K to 5K calories deficit. And that makes up for all of the partying in which you're gaining all of those calories, those extra calories. So in the feasting period, which is the partying, eating cakes, eating junk, that I'm so against, by the way. I'm all for healthy eating. I don't like to cheat on my diet and have cakes. I have a sweet tooth, but I try to compensate it with fruits and honey and all of those good stuff most of the time. But in those celebrations, that's my rule. Every time that I go to a trip to a new country or I'm a celebration, I just go there and enjoy the cakes and everything. But fasting to feasting is a great mechanism to cope against that. And that was the reason why I was able to adapt so good to all those parties and not gain weight. And even the opposite, lose the weight. And I was very scared to implement that in my past. I wanted to implement it for like, I don't know, a year, but I just didn't get to it because I was so afraid that I'm going to lose muscle mass. And after I experimented with it, I mean, for a whole month, I probably had 4 or 5 of those periods without any food for days. And it didn't reflect on my muscle mass. My muscle mass got retained from the measurements that I took of my body. I know that. And the key here in order to do that is for your body to be fat burning adapted or adjusted, or yeah, not sure about the exact word here, but you have to have fat adapted body. So your body consumes all of the fat for energy when you're not taking any food. Your body won't be fat adapted with the modern way of living because we're consuming so many carbs. Don't get me wrong, I consume carbohydrates all the time. I'm a fan of them. Those are my fuels for trainings and all of those things. I train 6 times per week, so it's pretty intensive. I need to consume carbs. I'm not shying away from them, but your body is so used to burning carbs instead of fat for energy, and you still store your fat, and then it goes to the muscles and it starts to consume them, and that's why you lose muscle mass. But if you're used to doing like 16 to 8 styles of fast, so you don't eat anything for 16 hours and you have a window of 8 hours in which you just consume food, that gets better and better, and your body gets more and more adapted to burning fat as the time goes by. You need like anywhere between 3 to 6 weeks of adaptation to that style of eating. And you can do whatever. You can do, I mean, 16 to 8 is the usual one, but you can do like 14 to 10 or whatever. And your body, you're just skipping breakfast. Basically, that's the idea. You eat what you eat until the evening, then you go to sleep, don't consume breakfast, skip it, and go straight for lunch. And I mean, that will adapt your body to that fasting style. And then when you go on longer periods of fasting, like you're not consuming food for a day or more, your body is already fat adapted. So you're consuming fat and not muscle as an energy. And that's the thing that happened to me. That was why I was so successful in my weight loss journey. Another thing that I'm experimenting with is the reverse dieting, and that's a concept that I never done before. And I had those periods in which I lose weight for 2 or 3 months. I lose like, let's say, 10, 15, 20 pounds, and then after I go back to my maintenance, I start to gain weight drastically. And that's because your body starts to hold up to all of the water weight and all of those things, and you start to bloat up, and you kind of lose your progress during the cut cycle. There is also an yo-yo effect on that perspective. So I asked ChatGPT for the benefits of just reverse dieting, the thing that I'm doing, increasing my calories gradually. So week one, you get 300 calories more per day. Week two, 300 more. And for the week three, 100 more in order to go back to your maintenance level gradually instead of drastically. So the things that he listed to me was that you avoid water weight gain. After dieting, increasing calories too quickly, especially carbs, can cause glycogen stores to refuel, leading to water retention and a temporary jump on the scale. A gradual increase minimizes this effect. It prevents fat gain. Post diet, your body is more prone to storing fat because it's in a recovery mode. A slow increase in calories helps your body gradually burn them for energy rather than storing them. So that's a key here. It reboots the metabolism. Dieting lowers metabolic rate. So that's known as adaptive thermogenesis. Reverse dieting gradually wakes up your metabolism by giving your body time to adjust to higher caloric intake, improve hormonal health. Caloric deficits can impact hormones like leptin and cholesterol. Reverse dieting helps restore balance, reducing hunger signals, and improving overall mood and energy. And another thing is sustainability. Jumping back to maintenance suddenly can feel overwhelming and lead to overeating. A gradual approach make it easier to maintain control. And that's a huge one as well. Man, when you know that you can consume calories finally, you just go in a feasting spree, and yeah, it can go wrong. So that's a great thing, I believe, with great benefits to reverse dieting. So I'll be counting on that to return gradually to my maintenance levels and to allow me to maintain all that I have earned during those 2 months of cutting weight. And the biggest factor of me losing the weight was nutrition. That's it, just controlling your caloric intake. It's such a game changer. If you know you're overeating for a certain day, that's when you're on a feasting. Then, after that period of feasting, you need to go to fasting in order to compensate for all of that. So, you have to have bigger caloric deficit. And it just makes sense. And like nutrition is 70% of the whole game. 70%, or maybe more, maybe even 80%. And that's applying both to cutting and bulking, I believe. It's so key. The other 30% or 20% is just your exercising. If you're getting exercises in regularly, you're more likely to maintain all of your muscle mass. So you're not losing any muscles. And if your body is fat adapted, it burns fat for energy. That's great. That's a game changer. So yeah, everything that I've done, I have strived to maintain a deficit which will allow me to lose like 700 to 800 grams per week. That's a total of 3 kilos per month. And the other thing, I was just exercising 6 days per week. 3 of the days I was running, jogging, sprinting, or boxing. I had those sessions as well. The other 3 days I was doing calisthenics, nothing else. And that was the key to my victory here. In January, it will be exciting as far as I hold up to my goal of maintaining the weight in December. I'll give you a quick update, probably at some point at mid to the end of December, how that goes. And yeah, January should be an exciting month. It will be a great way to kickstart the year in a good, lean shape. And I'll start a bulking phase from there, but that's for another video.